Assets, the quiet difference between rich and broke. You've been told to earn more, work harder, grind longer. But here's the secret no one taught you. It's not how much you earn. It's what you own. That single sentence explains why two people with the same job and income can have completely different lives 10 years later. One has freedom. The other has nothing but bills. The difference? Assets. What is an asset? An asset is anything you own that holds value or puts money in your pocket. That could be a rental property that pays you every month, stocks that grow and send dividends, a business that runs without your direct labor, a song you wrote that generates royalties, a YouTube video that earns ad revenue, even a piece of intellectual property or code you license out. It doesn't matter how big or professional it sounds. If it generates income without trading your time, it's an asset. And here's the real test. If you stopped working today, would it keep making you money tomorrow? If the answer is no, you don't have assets. You have expenses. Why most Americans don't own assets? Let's be brutally honest. Most Americans don't own assets. They own liabilities dressed up to look like assets. A house. Sure, you own it, but you're still making mortgage payments, repairs, taxes, HOA fees. A car. It depreciates the minute you drive it. A college degree. It might help you earn, but it doesn't generate passive income on its own. This confusion isn't an accident. It's baked into the system. From a young age, you were told, go to school, get a good job, buy a house, drive a nice car, retire at 65 if you're lucky. But no one told you how to build assets. Because a population with no assets is easier to control. The dangerous illusion of ownership. In 2024, the average American household carries over $100,000 in debt. Student loans, car loans, mortgages, credit cards. And yet, they still believe they own things. But ownership isn't just having your name on a title. True ownership means freedom, not just responsibility. If you can't walk away, you don't own it. It owns you. The wealth gap is actually an asset gap. Here's the shocking truth. The wealthiest 10% in America own over 89% of all stocks and equities. The bottom 50% own less than 1%. That's not just a money gap. It's an ownership gap. The rich aren't just working harder. In many cases, they're working less, because their assets are working harder. They own income-generating real estate, business equity, digital content portfolios, investment-grade assets, software and automation systems, and the rest. They rent, they borrow, they chase overtime. They depend on one job, and when that job disappears, so does their security. What counts as a real asset? Let's make this simple. A real asset does at least one of two things. 1. Puts money into your pocket. 2. Increases in value over time. If it doesn't do either, it's a liability, no matter what the paperwork says. Your couch. Liability. Your iPhone. Liability. Your $1,200 a month car lease. Definitely a liability. But a $600 used camera you use to build a video business? Asset. A $50 per month dividend-paying ETF? Asset. A blog that earns $200 per month from ads? Asset. A high ROI skill that lets you sell $10,000 per month services? Asset, if you systemize it. The American trap. Lifestyle creep. Here's a trap few escape. You get a raise, you get a bigger apartment. You land a bonus, you buy a new car. You finally make 6 figures, you upgrade everything. But your net worth doesn't grow. Your life looks better, but your freedom shrinks. That's not wealth. That's lifestyle debt in disguise. If every dollar you make gets spent, you're not building. You're treading water. Assets are how you break the cycle. They give you leverage. They grow even when you don't. Why the system prefers you asset poor. Ever wonder why schools don't teach asset building? Why banks encourage credit use over equity ownership? Because there's a quiet truth. The economy thrives when you borrow, not when you build. A credit card interest makes banks rich. A rent keeps landlords rich. A labor keeps businesses lean. You're just the engine keeping the system running. Until you unplug and start building ownership. The rise of invisible assets. In today's world, assets aren't just physical. Some of the most powerful assets are invisible. A personal brand with loyal followers. An automated e-commerce store. A mobile app you built once that pays forever. An email list with 50,000 buyers. A YouTube channel that earns 24/7. You don't need to be rich. You need to be strategic. Leverage content, code, creativity. One asset, built with intent, can change your entire trajectory. Real stories. Real leverage. Let's talk real Americans. Case 1. Brandon, 34, warehouse worker. He started filming tutorials on fixing used appliances. After 6 months, YouTube monetization kicked in. He now makes $2,200 per month from video views alone. That's more than his day job, with 0 clock-in hours. Case 2. Tasha, 42, single mom in Texas. She created a 10-page digital budgeting planner and uploaded it to Etsy. It sells 30 copies a week. Passive. Simple. Real asset. Case 3. Javier, 29, former Uber driver. Bought one rental property with an FHA loan. Lived in one unit, rented the other. Now owns 3 units. Net cash flow, $1,800 per month. None of them won the lottery. They built tiny assets, then stacked them. How to start building assets today. You don't need a huge bankroll. You need clarity. Start by asking, 1. What skills do I have that others pay for? 2. What knowledge do I have that can be packaged? 3. What can I automate, license, or digitize? 4. What platform can I build once and let it scale? Then act. Invest $100 into an ETF. Write that ebook. Record that course. Launch the website. Rent out the spare room. Learn that profitable skill. Build the system, not just the sale. You don't need 10 assets. You need your first one. Then stack. The long game. Assets compound. Not just in money, in peace. They buy you a breathing room, optionality, a dignity, a time with your kids, time to think, rest, create. Each asset you build is a vote for your future freedom. Without them, you'll always be forced to earn, just to exist. Final word. In America, the system rewards ownership, but discourages it for the masses. It seduces you into debt, then praises your hustle. It sells you comfort today, but steals your future tomorrow. But here's the truth. Assets are the quiet rebellion. They're the silent leverage of the free. They're the invisible armor in a rigged economy. So stop flexing income. Start stacking ownership. Because in a world built on consumption, the real power belongs to those who own.